Yes.
Chicken, fried potatoes, and fresh greens. But I love
pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, roll call, please. Here. Shadell?
Here.
Navarre? Here. Shoma? Here. Garner? Here. Wenzel? Here. Hoover? Here. If anybody has anything to speak on during the public comment, please sign up on the sheet over there. I also have one minor change to the agenda. Under items for action, we're going to add a village crawl space renovation topic. That'll be the only item for action. Say that one more time. Village crawl space. Okay. Just go. With that, I'll need a motion to approve the agenda. So moved.
Support.
Motion's been made and supported to approve the agenda. All those in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. Next up is the consent agenda. We'll need a motion to approve. So moved. Support. Motion has been made and supported to approve the consent agenda. All those in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. No unfinished business. Moving on to the new business, AHP to present an annual village audit. Laura.
Thank you very much. Good evening, everyone. I think I've probably met most of you here. My name is Jane Ray. I'm the audit partner with Andrew Super-Padlick, overseeing the audit of the village of Chesaning. With me here this evening is Justin Comas. Justin was here last year as well. Justin is the audit in charge who is heavily involved in the day-to-day audit coordination and audit work. We're really pleased to be with you here this evening to present the results of the audit of Village of Chesaning for the year ended February 28, 2025. We're especially pleased to be with you here in August this year. This is earlier than last year, which is really, really great. Obviously we have completed our audit. We had very good audit results this year. Very smooth audit process with great cooperation from the team at the village. It's a heavy lift getting through this audit process, and Tom and Donna and others really provide a great deal of assistance. Overall, making a very smooth audit process. We have issued 2 reports as a result of our audit. One of those reports is our report to the governance group. And what this is it contains communications that we are required to make with the group charged with governance, which is, of course, this body here this evening. That letter is kind of the stapled letter that says Village Council on the front of it. It's kind of got that cover page on it. It feels like kind of a thick letter. This contains all of the required communications that we have to make. All in this letter are provided in the affirmative. So there's no exceptions or findings or really any unusual or negative matters that are discussed in this letter, but we do have to make all of the communications. So they're all very standard. It does discuss communications in about a dozen or so different areas that we are required to communicate to you, the governance group. It has some, and I'm going to cover just a few highlights of what's in that letter. So it has some information about risks that are identified during the audit. We are required under audit standards to have a risk-based audit approach. So that means that we do identify risks of material misstatement. There were no unusual items that came about from our audit procedures that we are required to communicate to you regarding those risks. So that speaks to good audit results, that we assess risk, we design our procedures to mitigate those risks, and we have no unusual items to report to you as a result of that. This letter does discuss adopted accounting standards. There were a couple adopted accounting standards this year as required by GASB, none that had significant impact on your financial statements. So GASB does continue to have standards out there that do have to get implemented. Some have more impact than others. This year, the 2 that got adopted, no significant impact, so no big changes to these financial statements as a result of those items. There is a discussion in this letter about some upcoming GASB pronouncements. So these will be accounting standards that will have to be adopted in future years. There's brief summaries of those standards, something that we work with management to help look out to the future on to make sure that the village is prepared for adopting those standards. This letter includes information about our responsibilities as auditors in performing the audit, as well as information about estimates and disclosures that are a part of the financial statements, including estimates related to pension balances. The pension balances, the liabilities, and related balances in these financial statements, they do involve significant estimates. That's very normal for pension balances. Balances are actuarially determined, and by nature, it does involve estimates. But it is important to understand that included in these financial statements are some numbers that are, by their nature, estimates. There were no significant misstatements identified during the audit. There were no disagreements with management as we worked through the audit. There were no difficulties in really completing our audit procedures at all. If there were any unusual items, difficulties receiving information, difficulties completing our audit, those matters would be disclosed in this letter to you, and nothing of that nature is disclosed here. This letter also does discuss some information about internal controls. We do obtain an understanding of the village's internal controls. That's required by audit standards so that we can assess risk and perform our audit procedures. What we don't do is obtain a deep enough understanding of internal controls or perform testing on internal controls that would allow us to express an opinion on internal controls. So we don't express an opinion, and that's very normal. So we don't express assurance on the effectiveness of the village's internal controls. But if we identify any deficiencies in internal controls, particularly if they rise to a certain level of severity, we are required to communicate those deficiencies to you. We don't have any deficiencies that are of that severity that they are required to be communicated here. So overall, this is a very clean audit report, like I said, with no unusual items, no findings, no exceptions, and no significant deficiencies or material weaknesses reported. With that, I am going to turn this over to Justin Comas, and he's going to walk through some of the financial highlights for you all from the bound financial report you have.
Thank you. As Jane said, the bound report before you is our annual financial report. The annual financial report includes the independent auditor's report, management's discussion and analysis, the basic financial statements, the notes to the basic financial statements, and various supplementary information schedules. Moving to page 1 of the report, you'll find the report for independent auditors. This report includes a clean, unmodified opinion, which is the best opinion received as a result of knowledge. Moving past the independent auditor's report, you'll find the management's discussion and analysis. The management's discussion and analysis is an executive summary of the financial results for the year, and is prepared by management and not subject to audit procedures. Moving past the management's discussion and analysis, you'll find the basic. Oh yeah, sorry. So moving past the management's discussion and analysis, you'll find the basic financial statements. Some of the basic financial statement highlights for the year include the fact that the village continued to invest in its capital assets in an amount of approximately $850,000. Additionally, during the year, the village also entered into a installment agreement in the amount of $281,500 for purchase of village street sweeper. Looking at the major fund, or the governmental major fund, balance sheet. A statement of revenue. Looking at the major fund, governmental fund revenues, expenditures, and changes in fund balance, the general fund ended the year with a change in fund balance of approximately $30,000, with revenues slightly exceeding expenditures, and ended the year with a fund balance of approximately $292,000. The major street fund also saw an increase in fund balance for the year of approximately $140,000, and ended the year with a fund balance of approximately $537,000. The local street fund also saw an increase in fund balance of approximately $300,000, and ended the year with a fund balance of approximately $853,000. All other governmental funds saw a fairly neutral change in fund balance during the year. Looking at the enterprise funds, the sewer fund saw a change in that position during the year of approximately negative $7,400, and ended the year with a fund balance of approximately $3,315,000. end of the year with a fund balance, or net, and end of the year with a net position of approximately $2.5 million. That's the basic financial statements. You'll find the notes of the financial statements and the various supplementary information schedules which provide additional information regarding the financial activity for the year. Of the footnotes, footnote 14 is of importance, which discusses the village's commitment at year-end and events subsequent to year-end of financial statement relevance. Outstanding commitments at year-end consisted of approximately $319,000 in outstanding commitments related to the village's EGLE, managerial, technical, and financial grants. Subsequent events at year-end related to approximately $100,000 consisted of approximately $100,000 related to the construction of Shiawassee River kayak launches. In conclusion, this has been a great audit process, and with favorable results and no exceptions or findings noted, no significant exceptions or findings noted. We would like to express appreciation to Tom and Donna for all their efforts they involved in the audit, as it takes a lot of effort to prepare and execute the audit. And without them, we have difficulties actually completing the audit. So it's been a pleasure to serve you all. Is there any questions?
I just want to say thanks to Jamie and Justin for making it such a good process. It's an unbelievable amount of information to go through. It takes, when did you guys start this? April? March?
June, I believe.
Okay, yeah, I mean, it's months of work, so.
Like a year.
Yeah, not last year, but it takes a lot of time, so. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
All right, moving on, we have items for action, village crawl space renovation. I don't know if anybody's noticed, but there's a musty
Yeah,
smell.
so the second one,
And Tom has gone, they're gonna be done in 2 phases. Phase 1 is fixing what's underneath the building. That's, putting in the sump, well, we have a sump, right?
We do a sump crock in the crawl space, run the proper discharge tubes out of the crawl space, and underground, run a condenser line into the crack, and provide a dehumidifier and run discharge tubes into the crack.
Right.
A lot of water is just sitting down there. It's wet, and it's brown, as you can smell. So,
Not only the smell, it's the potential for mold and
Yeah.
damage done to the
can't
building.
do that.
So the phase 1 that we've got is $6,750. Phase 2, which will come later next year and we'll have to budget for, we'll be bringing in soil to fix the grade. Because right now, even though we're high, water is running into the building, collecting underneath. We need it to shed away. But that'll be done next year as it'll have to be a bunch of items.
so this will be a start.
Yeah, this is a good start. Anybody have questions or want to make a note tonight? I don't know if I said, but the phase 1 total will be $6,750.
Motion to approve the village office crawl space water disposal estimate of $6,750.
Motion's been made and seconded. All those in favor signal by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Glad to get rid of that smell.
Yeah, I noticed it the second I walked in, and I had never noticed it before.
Up next, we have committee reports, infrastructure,
No meeting.
finance and admin, public safety, PDA.
We had a meeting on the 13th, met, approved bills. We had Amanda Danick come to speak about moving, Canawag back onto 57 from where it's been recently out here and there. They're just talking about it right now. I like it. Paid for brick replacements, no, they yet, and, they approved the Christmas light contract.
Great.
You know,
They're going to wreaths this year.
Yeah.
Right. I can't remember what last year.
sure it'll look great.
I'm excited.
I'm sure the chamber of commerce have been out of town, hopefully I can make the next one. Planning commission,
We're meeting.
airport,
No meeting, but there's still events this weekend out there.
fair board,
Had 10 runs since the last meeting, bringing a total of 148. There was a blood drive out there on August 7th and 8th. They had 25 regulars and 7 doubles, bringing a total for 32, which was really great for them, they said. Scott and I signed the agreement with the DNR for mutual aid, so if we ever need them to come to help us, or they need us to come and help them, it's gonna be agreement, so.
fires or just general?
For-
search and rescue?
Everything. So, we, got the contract. When Scott got the contract, he got the, title for the, utility truck finally from the DNR. And we still got a check on the insurance on the Jeep and on the generator we rent from them. So, cause they don't carry insurance on it, we got to carry our own. John Gross painted the command trailer out to Old Gas in memory of Chuck Sadler. Stoddard's and Old Gas donated new tires for the trailer. Kevin Carlton donated tongue jack and new steps out there for them. They didn't really have no incidents out there, just a couple little ones. Engine 1 had to replace the starter on it. That was like $6,000 around
For a
that.
starter?
All with the labor and everything. It's just like, I think that's what it was. I haven't got it in front of me. But,
The starter and the engine?
no, just the starter, and I can't remember what it was. But the engine 1's lights on the side, the warning lights, they're little light bulbs like this, and they're $182 a piece now. And there's none in stock, no place, because nobody's buying them anymore. So we gotta go to LEDs.
Yeah.
So it's gonna cost us $1,700 to change out their LEDs.
Well, it's still cheaper than buying new light bulbs.
Oh, yeah, a lot. Got the parking lot repainted with the stripes, and you guys go out there and see the arrows going this way and this way to coming out. Last Thursday, Scott and a couple of the guys on the fire department assisted Michigan State Police out to the Farmer Peak Ponds looking for evidence at 2 o'clock in the morning.
Evidence of what? Where is that?
There's something that happens in Saginaw, and they got something that was brought up this way, so they had to check the ponds. That's all I know. The ladder truck, we got the parts in, and we're just waiting for Apollo to schedule to bring the truck down, which I guess we're gonna have to take it down the Romeo, down there. There's gonna be a park bench donated for Don Schwartzmiller's, which is gonna be put on what, Line and Broad?
Fire department.
At the fire department, okay. Somebody said something about Line and Broad.
No, that one's going to the fire department.
Okay. And then there's another one talking about for, Chuck Sadler too. Then, next fire board meetings, training next month is gonna be search and rescue. They haven't found a place yet for that. And then, fire board meetings will be September 10th.
Sea ponds would be good for search and rescue.
Yeah. Well, Scott said when those divers came out of the ponds, it looked like, sea monsters coming out with all that stuff on it.
Feel free to do it right around opening day of bow season and push the deer line.
Okay.
Is that it?
Yep.
Alright. Task force, no meeting. Parks committee.
No meeting.
At this time, we'll open the floor to public statement for any topic, including current agenda items, limited to 3 minutes. You, Terry Frank Kuklis.
Well, you haven't been here the last couple months, but I'd like to have the, public statements for current agenda items as of the beginning of the agenda, so that people can comment on the current agenda items further after that. From that. Couple minutes.
No. Thank you. Chris Mishler.
I need to read this. issues brought before all of you, past and present, and disrespectful in comments and attitudes and emotions, and I truly believe that's not part of it. And that should not ever happen, for place for disrespectful leaders or yelling, threatening that. But I also think there's no place for limiting our democratic rights, which involve being able to speak to you in an open forum concerning issues that you are going to vote on possibly that very night. I truly feel like we have the best interest of just being in return, and we do. But I also wonder, how do you know how the people that voted for you, that you are representing them, how do you know they feel about you if they're not allowed to have comments before you vote on issues that affect them? Now, the order of public comment on the agenda is the problem that I see happening. This is an opportunity for the public to come to you with opinions on issues. And the meeting itself belongs to you guys. You are in total control of that. You are the governing body. The public is not participating in the vote. The only way we can participate is to provide for you our opinions on the issues that you're going to talk about. So decisions made by the council, I truly believe, have no claim in being your personal opinion. You're here to represent the public for you. And again, the only way that you can know how people issue is if you hear their comments. I understand that our voice comes at the election. But I think that a more comfortable, friendly process is for us to be able to communicate with one another, person to person, in a respectful manner. And that this is our opportunity to speak to you. It's our right as a democratic society, and it's also just a friendly way in a small town to do things. You have the right to make guidelines, timelines, if there's discussion, if there's no discussion, you have all of that right. But I'm just asking, please don't deny us our democratic freedoms because of past experience. I know it was uncomfortable, not truly uncomfortable. Part of the beauty of being a citizen here at Castle is having a personal relationship with you and feeling like it is safe enough to talk to you about things that you can do. And so that's why I hope that you have it in your means to make some changes in the positioning of the public comments in your agendas, and let us have the opportunity to let you know.
Thank you, Brittany. Travis Lamb? Sorry, name and address.
Yes.
Yeah.
Travis Lang. I live on the corner of Chesapeake and Gasper, 701 New. This is my first time ever coming to any kind of council or village meeting, so I suspect you guys mostly get mass food issues, so I just want to start off and say thank you for
That's definitely not the norm.
yeah, running, keeping the village going smoothly. I grew up here. I've been here for 26 years. And it's been it really is a special place. It's a very quaint, small town, and absolutely love it. As she just pointed out, that personal feeling, being able to get to know each other. Growing up, I was always really close with the foreign exchange students, and they'd actually complimented this town specifically when I took them out to the bowling alley. And coming out, I don't actually know his name, but he just introduced himself to the exchange students and started talking with them, and it blew their mind that they were able to come to the U.S. and just talk to the street. And being over in Europe, they don't do that every time. It's like a completely foreign thing to them. And that was something that I was very proud of, that experience here in Chesapeake, how we treated the foreigner and how compassionate we were to the outside. recently came to my attention that the township is extending a resolution that's going to be invite to the federal government and their immigration enforcement policies, of which whatever side of the island fall on, they've been kind of harsh. Now they're cracking down on the foreigner. And so, not that long, about a year ago, I wouldn't have actually been concerned about this, but my grandma passed away. And when she did, I was gifted her NIV study Bible, and I read through the Bible for my first time ever doing so. I never actually done it cover to cover. And the thing that blew my mind as I was reading through that I was not expecting was learning how much love God not just has for me, and not just has for all of you, but also has for the foreigner. And quite literally, he laid down in the law for the Israelites how they were supposed to treat the foreigner residing amongst them, and that was as their native born. And then in Jesus' ministry, like the biggest part was calling everyone that was listening to him to treat the least amongst us as we would himself, because that is how we treat him. In fact, that was how he laid it out in the separation of the sheep and goats when he judged the nations. And so I know that this is a village meeting, it's not the township meeting, but if you guys find yourself in a position of authority to make a difference that allows for that compassion to exist within our village, I would encourage you to do so.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Next up, Dale Tito.
I'm Dale Tito. I live at 869 4th Street, right across from Chesaning High School. 50 years of my life has been spent in the same dwelling, so I get an opportunity to observe a lot what goes on 4th Street. I'm here to lobby the village, and if the township's involved in it, and whomever else, to widen the sidewalk from Grady down to the school property. Presently, the sidewalk in front of school is 5 feet. That from the old softball courts down to Grady is less than that. So when students have to walk on that, they can hardly, two can maybe do it, but the third person has to walk in the grass. And in the wintertime, let me back up. I'm really lobbying for a sidewalk like minimum 5 feet. Minimum 5 feet. The ones that they put in over at the school, the middle school, they're 9 feet to accommodate the students there. But if that sidewalk were widened, it would make it convenient to even clear it in the winter. The winter, I think, is the most dangerous of all. When the street is cleared before the sidewalk. So kids walk in the street. And you've got students, young drivers, they're maneuvering maybe their first time in a snowy situation, and they're trying to dodge the pedestrians in the street. So I just think if a sidewalk were made, maybe close to 8 or 9 feet, you could push a truck or something down through there to clear that quickly, and then people could walk off the road. Well, I know there are monies that are coming through grants for safe routes to school, but I know they have all kinds of rules and regulations, maybe on the width of it or other things, but I'm hoping if you see the possibility there that this might come to fruition. Once it's put down, cement, it's there. And so to put something less than what I think is needed is just a poor idea. So that's sort of my reason for coming. I've been told that there's rules and regs that the sidewalks in the community are supposed to be so wide, and we have to adhere to that. I think there can be exceptions depending on where the sidewalk is. That sidewalk gets an awful lot of traffic, not just from school students, but people using the tennis courts, walking to the golf course, going down to the football games. So I am just hoping when that has to be upgraded, that a width would be considered.
No, we're talking about that is that it is gonna be widened. And there's one tree that we gotta remove to make a straight shot down, I think it was.
On the other side.
Yeah, and there's gonna be, over between the road and the parking lot of the middle school, gonna be added sidewalks there, and there's gonna be lights added to that crosswalk too, because it's so dark there.
Yeah,
So that's part of it, so.
I think any of those kinds of improvements are great.
It's underneath the state dam, so.
But the main run is what I see a real need of. And it'll be a costly thing to widen it to certainly from what it is presently.
That's underneath the funds underneath the state dam,
Yeah.
safer
Yeah.
route, so.
So anyway, that's just my story. Thank you kindly. Well, I want to compliment the group too. I know when you serve on this board, it's very seldom you get compliments. And a lot of times it's not fun. And I compliment you for your time and efforts.
Thank you. All right, next up we have council member statements. Any council member wish to make a statement?
I also would like the public statement with that at the front, and for many of the same reasons as Ms. Mishler and Brandon stated. I would like the public's opinion to take into account before voting. I'd like to give them the opportunity to sway my opinion. I read the council packet and everything before, and I kind of formulate what I'm thinking. But I would also like to hear other people's inputs.
Sure.
I could run around town and ask.
I believe that's gonna happen.
I missed a couple of the meetings prior to that happening, so was there something that I missed that caused the change or was?
I wasn't here when you removed it, so we moved the same thing.
Well, I was here the day that it was removed,
Yeah.
but I don't know what happened in the two prior meetings, because I did miss those based on my schedule.
Nothing really.
Nothing, okay,
Nothing interesting.
sure,
It's just probably not.
sure. I just want to do a shout out to the Chesaning, Kappa program, the theater, show that they put on, Come Came True. It was a beautiful performance in the park. I know they appreciate you allowing them to have that show down there. It was fantastic. If you guys missed it, you missed a heck of a show. My daughter was the female lead. She did wonderful. My neighbor, Thelonious Blum, was the male lead, and he was wonderful. But I really appreciate that the village allows that to happen. It is such a treat for everyone in the village to be able to bring their chair, sit there for $5 and watch a beautiful hour-and-a-half show. So, thank you to the village for that.
I was talking to some people violating the bike lanes, and that I seen the razor down the bike lane down the crossview the other day. So,
Well,
warning to them.
well, warning period is over.
Yeah.
Now they will be in mountain. Same goes for any unsafe activity on scooters that I've heard people might have.
Oh, yeah.
On your road.
On Front Street, there are a few houses down for me. There's a gentleman that is riding a moped with a very young child on it.
I would say maybe.
Holding on to him. I've caught the glimpse twice, and I've had to do a double take, but he drives so fast that I can't, and he covers the baby, so you can't really, I couldn't get a good look at the age on it. But it's a baby, interesting.
Shoot your back.
Okay, but I have witnessed it myself.
Down Line Street, I've seen a couple younger guys on mopeds now, but they're not doing anything crazy or disrespectful. They're just motoring along.
Right, they got the helmets.
They look pretty home built. It was like really cool. Like,
Mopeds are legal.
oh yeah, no, absolutely. You know, but I mean, seeing not everybody's
Oh,
like
yeah.
showing up on it.
Yeah.
Some guys are like following rules. They stop at the stop signs and everything. But like, I really want to stop one of these guys and ask about these things because they're so legal.
Anybody else? quick question. When do we take for possession of the Heritage Hub?
I don't know. All the paperwork submitted, just waiting to hear back.
It moves at the speed of bureaucracy. There you go, I hear you.
I will check, I will email tomorrow.
Broadway can make a good deal on it. There you go. Anybody else? All right, moving on to village staff reports, the chief is out. Administrator report.
Yeah, police chief, was not able to make it, tonight, but he did tell me to, ask me to report that the village and township have come to an agreement for the village to do some policing, some basic patrolling in the township. The cost will be covered by a grant the village received through the state of Michigan. If you have any questions, please direct them to Chief Meter, as I don't know any of the answers to those questions. There has been some questions, and I should have told you I was going to say this, about operating a side-by-side on M57 while watering plants. There is an exception that is being made for the person that is watering the plants, as it's a service that I think we all benefit from. It is Danielle here. It's not because she holds any special sway, it's because she's watering the plants that need to be watered. If anybody has any questions on that, I would love to talk to them about it. I just wanted to get that out there. There are exceptions. She's working for the village. As long as she works safely, I guess for the DDA, works safely, then we're going to allow her to continue to water the plants. And they look beautiful.
I did get some comments this weekend from out of town. Good job.
Yeah, I was stopped a couple times already this week. On Tuesday.
The construction on the kayak landing, that's what we're calling it now, the landing. Less of a launch, more of a landing, I guess. Hopefully we'll begin in the next week or two. The township, I don't know if anybody's seen the township site. Looks exciting. Really pumped about that. And it's nice to see that we're getting close to that project being complete. It's been before my time that this has begun, so that's been over 3 years now that this has been in the works. We're also right now beginning the early stages of planning our next street projects that'll hopefully happen in 2027. That's currently the goal. These streets will be tied into other projects like water main improvements and some storm drain projects. The goal here is to not pave a road and then in 2 years have to rip it up because the water main needs to be replaced. In the past, 20 years ago, and that has been done. So the amount of streets that are being done, the goal is underground utility work needs to be complete along with that. Unless the utilities are great and we can just do a mill and fill. But we're really aiming to not have to damage these roads that we just paid. It's unbelievably expensive, as you guys know.
Did I see that they were over on Center Street? Was it yesterday or maybe last week? I saw a vac truck over there and a truck.
That's they're identifying service line material that would have been that
Okay.
truck.
Sure.
That's also going on right now. If you see a vacuum truck in front of your house, we're identifying service line material. We're doing that through a grant that we received through the state, with the goal of identifying if it's copper, lead, or galvanized. There's 650 houses we have to do. We're about 100 in right now. So if you see a vehicle driving around looking, that's what that is. Any damage to your sidewalk or grass or anything will be repaired as quickly as possible. But hopefully that should be minimal. The chamber is extending yoga in the park. It's been a big success. It's going to Tuesdays in September. There are flyers here if anybody would like one. So the 9th, 16th, 23rd, and 30th, they're at 5 p.m. Price is $6, but it's been such a cool event, I guess, from the people that have done it, that they're going to extend it. And I've already set up a massive thank you to HP and Raymond for working so hard on the audit, and to Donna and Lisa and Amber. It's a bunch of work, and they got it done. And we got it done on time this year. So just a big thank you to everybody who helped.
Thanks, Tom.
Thank you to you.
Wait, one last thing before. I want to thank everybody for showing up. We don't see many people in the audience anymore, but there are empty chairs, so bring your friends. Bring your buddy.
Motion adjourned.
Support. Motion's been made and supported to adjourn. All those in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? We are adjourned.